This way is fine, like
Yeah.
literally right here?
Yeah.
Perfect. My name is Jan Sport, I'm 25 years old, and I've been doing drag for a little over 2 years. I started doing drag as another form of entertainment. I grew up in the musical theater world, and I felt like I wasn't really finding my voice in the theater community, and drag really just fell into my lap. It wasn't something that I was seeking. It wasn't even something that I ever thought that I would do in my entire life. I just adored it from afar. I was doing a cruise contract, and we were in Dubai, and it was very, very conservative there, and I wanted to express myself in ways, and I found that makeup was that way to do that. So I would go back on the ship and I would paint myself, and somebody was like, you look like Kris Jenner when you do this, you need to do a Kris Jenner illusion. So I did that, and while I was watching the episode Keeping Up with the Kardashians that I was painting my face to kind of study Kris Jenner, it was all about her getting on Broadway in the Company of Chicago. And so I was like, I need to do something with this. And the last words that she says are, if being on Broadway is my dream, then it's my dream. And I live sang I Dreamed a Dream right after I did some spoken word of her. So it was all very, like, it was very, what's the word? It was fate, honestly. It was really fate, because I wasn't seeking anything, and it was just something that I had, you know, an inkling to do, and then here it was right into my lap, and you know, that's how it started.
And I'm a personal trainer, but I don't want to have to put these guys in shape. Even if this guy isn't a professional basketball player, I'm hoping he's kind of like one. If these guys don't clean their teeth, it probably means they have smelly balls.
So my drag identity is very entertainment based. I grew up as an entertainer in musical theater, and I like to translate that through my drag. I'm a live singer, I'm a dancer, I'm a comedy performer, and so I like to just make people smile. But I do always like to remind people that our community needs strength right now, and we need to rely on each other to get through this really, really, really tough political climate that we're in. And every show that I do, I always say, you know, we're very strong as a community. Let's keep building that. I always say, thanks for coming out to support me. I'm a queer artist, and you are not only supporting me by coming to my show, you're supporting this queer bar, but you're also supporting the queer community. Because at the end of the day, these are our safe places for us to go to for grieving. It's our places to go to when we have to celebrate things, and we have to stick together as a community through this really tough time. So I always remind people that, but at the end of the day, I love to do drag, and I was drawn to drag because of the entertainment value. I think that there's enough crap going on in the world that we need to focus on just making sure that each and every person in the community is uplifted in some way, shape, or form. And if I can do that through my drag, then that's such a gift. I love to do that for people.
In season 7, you let me show the world that I'm good enough. And here, you let me believe it myself. And I can't thank you enough for that.
I think that a majority of drag queens do want to be on RuPaul's Drag Race, and I think it's becoming more and more evident of that. It's really just become a cultural phenomenon, and that's absolutely amazing. I think it gives visibility to an amazing community, but I fear that the problem with this is that drag queens will just do it for the fame. I do drag because it's a form of entertainment that I feel like I cannot live without. It is a part of me. I express myself fully through this. And if I get accolades or fame through that, so be it. But that's not the goal. If I was performing at Pieces Bar 5 nights a week and was having a great time with my friends and making people smile, that's what it would be. That would be okay. I would be totally okay with that. But I fear that, and I see this on social media popping up, it's people being like, well, I want to be on Drag Race, or like there's queens who are just like, oh, okay, cool, Drag Race auditions are happening, need to learn how to perform, you know, and I'm just like, what are you doing it for? Like, you know, like, it's one thing to like really enjoy makeup and want to do that for the aesthetic and everything like that, but if you're just trying to do it to get famous and, you know, work your way up to the top and be a household name, then I think you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Drag goes back so long before Drag Race was even a thought, so we need to respect that, and we need to pay homage to those queens who paved the way, you know?
Great. How long have you been standing around here? You guys been in the
And then Christy Rose is there tonight too, you know?
No, I'm just being out and being wonderfully glamorous, that's all. You know, I do that so well. You have to say those things. Thank you. You know, it was amazingly a short amount of time. The eyelashes didn't take that long tonight. I was lucky.
I think that Drag Race going mainstream has done much more good than it has done bad. I think that the bad things that our community is weary about are that cisgendered and straight people might come into our community and then feel like they can relate to our experiences as queer people. And the queer community has gone through so much in terms of bullying, in terms of people getting murdered, and it's still happening every single day. And so I think that a lot of the queer community keeps that sacred, and I think that they don't want straight people to think that they're a part of this. Now, I also think on the other side that it's great that straight people or cisgendered people are seeing the artistry and the passion that goes into drag. It's becoming something more than just a fetishized enigma. It's beyond that now. It's beyond just the, you know, the beauty. There's much more behind the beauty. There's passion, there's skill, there's talent, there's entertainment. And I think that people seeing that really shows that we're all just people underneath this that have a willingness and a passion to express our artistry and ourselves through makeup, through performance, and all of these things. So I think that when the appreciation from the straight and cisgender community comes into it and they can really see the passion and the hours and the commitment that it takes to build up this persona and to build up this face and these entertaining numbers, that's when it starts to be really, really good. And that's when you start to see change, and that's when you start to see the community coming together with cisgender people in a beautiful, beautiful way where we can kind of bridge that gap. I think that drag can be a lot of different things. I think that if you want drag to just be entertaining and you want to just put a smile on people's faces, then that's great. That's needed and necessary in this world where there's so much negativity happening. But also, in a way, it is political every single time you go out there. And if your main goal is to just entertain, you are also being political by going out there because you are doing something that is taboo. You are doing something that's not a social norm. It is becoming a social norm, but it is political to go out there in a Republican political climate and say, hi, I am a person who is dressing up, and I am giving you, in my case, I am a man dressing up as a female, and I'm going out there and giving you that illusion. What we do is dangerous, and we are being political, even if you just mean to go out there and entertain.
You know what they don't tell you? They say on the road to success, you know, work hard, whatever. They don't say you should cross-dress on YouTube until someone pays attention.
Did they tell Jesus he was gonna get hung on a cross?
They did, actually.
Yeah, he did.
So we're here with a mother-son duo, Ball Koozie. Do you know what that is?
Bitch gargles on your balls, right?
Me. So, follow our tips.
And you'll be dead before you know it.
Me being a newer queen myself, I know that I went into drag doing it for the right reasons. And I do see queens that are doing it for the right reasons, but I also know that there's a handful of them who are just doing it because they want to get famous. And I think that a lot of the queens who are older and who are more experienced can kind of see the difference between those two. I also think that people around others who are succeeding in drag and making it full-time careers say, oh, I can do that, I want to do that too, let me do it, but don't know anything about performing, don't know anything about makeup, and just want to do it because it's a change in their lives and they don't really know which way to go. I don't mind that, but I don't want it to just be about fame. It's not about fame. It should never be just about fame. It should be about performing. It should be about entertaining people. It should be about exploring yourself as an artist with, you know, your face and with your body and with proportions and things like that. If it's just solely for fame and that's your only goal in life, I think that you really need to do some reassessment, because it should be it should feed your soul. I am somebody who cannot live without drag. I am so lucky that this literally fell into my lap, and that's how I know that I'm supposed to be doing this. That's how I know I'm where I am. That's how I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I'm not saying that everybody has to have that moment, but that's my reassurance. That's why I know that I'm doing it for the right reasons, because I need to do it. It will not, like, life will not let me not do this. But I think that if you're just doing it for fame, like, go. Like, do something else. Go be an accountant. I see the future of drag going into a really, really positive space. Me, personally, I want to be on RuPaul's Drag Race personally because I want to share my voice. I'm a singer, that's what I've done my entire life, and I want to get drag queens on the radio. I want to be a singer and an entertainer that just happens to also do drag. I think that that's a wonderful place that it could go into. I think that people like Bianca Del Rio, showing that she could be a comedian and sell out these arenas of you know, across the world, and just be a comedian who also happens to be a drag queen, is transcendent. I think that drag will start to transcend things and find people and find the talent that can do that and bring it to the next level. Drag is already growing so much, and I think so many people are realizing what a beautiful art form it is. And I just don't want anyone to take it for granted. I want people to appreciate it and enjoy it for what it is, which is a beautiful art form. And I think as long as there's a mutual respect and appreciation, not only from the queer community, but from the straight and cisgender community, I think that that will be a beautiful thing to see and to witness in the world. Because drag is so amazing, whether it's visual, whether it's performing, whether it's anything else that you want it to be. It's a beautiful art form that needs to be seen. And so I hope that it keeps growing and it keeps expanding.